again. Welcome to the game that tests your history knowledge and your geography knowledge. This is TimeGuessr. We'll be given 5 photos, just like this one. For each one, we have to say, where in the world was it taken? But we also have to say, when in history was it taken? Anywhere from 1900 to the present day. There are points, of course, the closer you are both on the map and on the timeline. I usually aim for about 2/3 to 3/4. I don't always hit that aim. Sometimes I exceed it, but we'll see how we get on today. And of course, feel free to play along at home and leave your guesses in the comments. We're starting with a black and white one, which I always struggle with, because black and white photos could be really any time between about 1900 and 1985 or so. Of course, they could be any later. So they can be tricky. This one feels Scandinavian. The umlauts and the kun as a suffix feels. I'm torn between Finnish and Estonian actually. Usually it would be Finnish because of course Finland is a lot bigger than Estonia. There's just something about some of these words that made me think Estonia. I don't know why. Alexis Kivi. That is not helpful. I've never heard of him. What else is going in this photo? I mean, it's like a women's institute. Oh no, it's not. There's men in there. I was going to say it's like a women's institute choir or something. It's some kind of local choir, isn't it? There is a microphone. So I don't think it's going to be pre-World War II. There's at least a little bit of technology around. But other than that, I've not got a whole lot to go on. I'm tempted to just leave it at 1962, just looking at the outfits. Every time I move it from 1962, I tend to do worse. So let's just leave it there. It's the default starting position. Now, Tallinn or Helsinki? Which side of the Baltic are we going? Oh, I think I'm just going to go Helsinki. I'll play it safe, just because Finland is bigger, as I said. So I was 11 years off. It was a decade earlier, but I was in the right city, so pretty decent points. It was signs demanding a 5-power peace pact to prevent a repeat of war. Okay, so yeah, shortly after the war. Most things I said was correct. It was just 50s rather than 60s. What's going on here? This is very Ukrainian, blue and yellow colours. I can definitely believe that this is Ukrainian text. Is it just going to be a boxing gym in Kyiv? I'm not sure. We've got a whole lot to go on. It looks pretty modern, so let's just go. We'll not overthink it. We'll go 2025. Yeah, well, let's just go Kyiv. Of course, it could be any Ukrainian city. It could be a city that's not even in Ukraine, where they've just had a load of Ukrainian refugees. There isn't really much to go on in this photo, so we'll stick with the most likely scenario, I think. It is 2025. It's a different Ukrainian city, so we lose a few hundred points for the location, but pretty happy with 9,000 there. Oh, I'm not going to get 9,000 here. Oh dear. What is going on? Can we zoom into the writing? Constantinidis. I mean, this feels like it could definitely be what Cypriot people call Cyprus. And the names sound like they could easily be Cypriot as well. Spotting. There's a spotted Orient there. I suspect it's not to do with Leyton Orient, which of course is the best football team, but that's by the by. That says 1930. How old do I think this garden was at the time this photo was taken? Or was it just commemorating something that took place in 1930? Can this photo really be a 1930s photo? I'm just trying to gauge from the outfits. I mean, it's very low quality, isn't it? They're all blurry. I would have guessed more recent than 1930, to be fair, but it definitely looks older than the other one that I thought was 60s and actually was 51. So if this is older than that, I think 1930 is a very sensible thing to guess. And we might as well go for the capital of Cyprus. It was 1930. It was Ljubljana Grand Fair in Tivoli Park. It was Slovenia. No, Slovakia, sorry. No, Slovenia. I was right first time. Bratislava is the capital of Slovakia. I have no idea how I could have worked out that that was Slovenia. I'm not sure any of the writing was in Slovene. Maybe it was just that one corner exhibit that was to do with Cyprus. That was a very tricky one. I'm happy enough getting more than half of the location and getting full marks on the year. Although, to be fair, the year was very easy, wasn't it? As long as it wasn't a trick, which it wasn't. Right, what about this one? Andrew Cash for Davenport. So Cash for Toronto. So it's clearly some kind of political campaign in Toronto. So that's a location sorted. What year do we think? I was kind of hoping that there would be a year written on some of these placards or something somewhere. I might have to go for 2025 again. That's a pretty modern phone. That's not a particularly modern camera though, is it? But, I mean, that doesn't really mean anything. Dear Santa does something, something, something. I mean, it's got to be within the last... It's within the last few years, I just don't know how many years. There's no masks, so we've already had one from 2025. I'm kind of tempted to just go 2019 and just think maybe this will be in a slightly different decade. Based on absolutely nothing, but the thing is, I'll be at most 6 years off, surely. Well, we can zoom right in to Toronto. I don't know where Davenport is as a district. I can see plenty of places that have also got an equivalent in Britain. There's Uxbridge, that's in West London. Would not have expected that to be in Toronto as well. There's London, more to the point. I'm really struggling to find a Davenport area. I've been to Toronto not that long ago either, and I do not remember Davenport, so I think we might just have to plonk it in the middle. I think the city centre is more around here, but maybe this area is a bit more built up. I don't really remember. It was 2019 and I was pretty close on the location. I would definitely take that. I don't know if that was more like for judgment, but either way it paid off. Right, number 5. San Francisco State College. I think we're going to go to San Francisco. It does have some... I mean, there's some tram tracks, that's the word, and some very hilly roads in San Francisco. So, yeah, can definitely believe that this is San Francisco. So then the only question is, what is the year? Nob Hill. I think I've walked up that hill. Or down the hill, I can't remember. Maybe I was lazy and got the tram up the hill. What year do we think? There's plenty of cars. It's not going to be 70s, surely. But it's got to be post-war. We have already had one in the 50s. So I think I'm going to stick with 62 again. Let's see if it works better this time. Let's zoom in to San Fran. Oh, I really don't remember if this hill is... I was going to say in the north or the south of the Golden Gate Bridge, but clearly it's got to be south, because everything is in the south. Where is everything to do with trams? Bernal Heights. I think it's just one of these roads is the very steep one, isn't it? I just can't remember which one. There's Fern Street. Is that relevant? Perhaps not. Where's the road that goes backwards and forwards and is really steep and really wiggly? I would feel like it would be somewhere in this area. Or maybe somewhere between this area and the town centre. Or the city centre, I should say. San Francisco State College. Maybe I should go near the university then. Lone Mountain. Lower Pacific Heights. Pacific Heights. There's Nob Hill. There we go. That's a cable car museum. I reckon it's this road then. Oh, I mean, let's just plonk it there. It literally says Nob Hill something. Nob Hill Hotel or something. Galleries. I feel like I'm going to be pretty close. It was in the 60s. I was pretty close. Not quite spot on. But it was measured in metres rather than miles or kilometres. So, yeah, you know you're close when it's measured in metres. It was Richard Nixon. I didn't even bother to zoom in on the photo to see if I recognised any people. I just assumed I wouldn't. I'm not sure I'd have recognised Nixon anyway, or known that he would have been around in 69. Although, to be fair, I wouldn't have gone for 62 if I had recognised Nixon, because I think JFK would still have been around that earlier. So I might have got closer, but either way, I'm still pretty happy with that effort. It does mean I've scored over 40,000, so that's over 80%, and comfortably over 1,725 points over. That is one of my better attempts. Very happy with that, and there were some black and white photos in there. It wasn't that straightforward. There were a few that were straightforward, but it wasn't that straightforward. Anyway, let me know if you did better. That is TimeGuessr. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.